When the evening settles and the day grows still, stories rise softly from memory's hill. These are the letters we carry inside, stories of love, loss, and pride. Welcome, my friend, to Porch Light Letters.
Hey, kia ora, Helen Brahms here, coming to you live from Waikanae Beach in New Zealand. Hope you're all having a super fantastic, sparkling day. Welcome. What are we up to? Porch Light Letters podcast number 2415. And today's question is, when does genealogy become family history storytelling? Isn't that a great question? So when does all that research that you're doing become the focal point for storytelling? Research becomes storytelling the moment we ask what the facts mean. So the second we ask what do these facts mean, that's when the storytelling starts. So genealogy focuses on collecting evidence. Traditional genealogy emphasizes building accurate family trees. Researchers gather documents to confirm relationships, dates, and locations. This goal is often verification and structure. So we're finding those facts and those details. We're verifying them. We're using the, that's the book that's missing. I just realized, it's still going through boxes. There's a lot of boxes. I have 109 boxes that are marked books. So far, we've found 4 boxes of books. The other ones have had 1 or 2 books in them and been described as having books. So we have a long way to go. But I haven't found my genealogy standards book yet. Yes, that's missing. Anyway, so yes, we have the standards that we go by when we're verifying information to prove our point, to prove the facts and that sort of thing as well. Not our point, but the facts, as they support the theory, the thesis that we're looking for. So it could be we're looking to prove that somebody is the father of somebody, and so we're going through the genealogy standards to find the information that we need and exhausting all possible places that we can research. So once we've exhausted all possible resources, then we can say we have proved it or disproved it. So during that time, as we're collecting all this evidence, the story is starting to form about this person. Storytelling interprets the meaning of those facts. Family history storytelling begins when researchers explore how people lived. So that's going into, and instead of simply listing events, the narrative explains how those events shaped lives. This approach adds personality and depth. So this is where we start, where we encourage people to talk to local historians in the area where your ancestors came from, or going and exploring yourself and talking, if they fought in a battle somewhere, talking to the park rangers about the history of the battle and things like that, because they will have experts there on the battle that can basically tell you what happened on the battle day and what the conditions were like, what people had to live through, what the soldiers were going through, where they got to sleep, how did they even get to eat, and things like that. So having that historical context does help. Context transforms genealogy into narrative. Historical background reveals the environment ancestors experienced. Social expectations, economic pressures, and the cultural traditions all influence decisions. Context allows genealogy to become story. So remember, we're layering here. We start with the facts. Then the next layer is how did they live? So we're finding those pieces of what, did they leave behind a journal that described their life or explained portions of their life? Did they, what was their occupation? Where did they live? What were the conditions like where they lived? Putting in that historical background of events that were taking place at that time. What was it like to live in that area at that time? So we're putting these layers together to create the story. Personal reflection adds connection. When family historians reflect on what those discoveries mean, the narrative becomes personal. Stories connect generations and help families understand shared heritage. This, reflection brings the past into the present. So you're starting to bring that past piece into the present. Now you've got more of a connection with these relatives these ancestors that you've been investigating and looking for, and now they're becoming real human beings instead of just a person in a photograph, and that you may find Sometimes I forget the windows are open and the birds are a little louder. But when you're looking at photographs and things, yes, you see a person in a photograph, but that's all they are, just that one dimension, that photograph, one dimension. But when you start adding in the historical context, when you start adding in details of their lives, now you're starting to layer that person kind of just lifts out of that photograph, and suddenly you've got this real person standing in front of you. Figuratively, not literally. We don't have magic photographs. It would be good if we could do that and ask them questions. That would be awesome. So stories connect generations and help families understand their shared heritage. This reflection brings the past into the present. Storytelling invites broader engagement. Many relatives may not be interested in charts or records. Stories make family history accessible to everyone. Narrative turns research into something meaningful for the whole family. We talked a few days ago about like creating a storybook for children, taking photographs, taking some of those old photographs you got and creating a story around them using the facts about that person. This was them when they were a baby. This is them when they were a teenager. This was them, and talking about what like their life would have been like and things like that. It may be a great-grandparent or maybe a grandparent, that you've got these photographs of, and now you weave their story in amongst the photographs. Why this matters is storytelling ensures genealogy remains alive rather than archived. We want to keep it alive. We want to keep it in front of people to let them know that this was a real person. This is somebody who you descend from. This is somebody who is part of your life, part of your makeup, part of who you are. So being able to help people explore that through story and finding these stories is just awesome and amazing. So your practical takeaway is move beyond the charts by asking how and why events happened. Remember, there's a lot of resources out there, There's a lot of resources out there that can help provide this information for you. And if you want help transforming research into stories, send us a private message and let's set up a 30-minute discovery call to go over what you've got and how to start that transformation from research into stories. And in closing, facts record lineage, stories reveal legacy. And with that, we are out of here. Go out, have a super fantastic, sparkling evening, and we'll catch you guys back here tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. Pacific. Hei konera.
The stories we carry stay bright through the night. A small steady glow in the fading light. Stories of love, loss and pride we share. Until we meet again, keep the porch light burning.